One of the most debated terror cases in Indian history has ended today. With a full acquittal, 17 years after a bomb blast ripped through Malegaon in India's state of Maharashtra, killing 6 people and injuring almost 100 others, a special NIA court in Mumbai has cleared all 7 accused. And these include the former Bharatiya Janata Party's Member of Parliament Sadhvi Pragya Thakur and former Army officer Lieutenant Colonel Prasad Shrikant Purohit. Now, the court said that the evidence that was presented by the prosecution did not hold up, and there was no adequate enough proof that bomb had been planted inside of the motorcycle that was allegedly linked to Sadhvi Pragya Thakur. The court further said that the explosives could have simply been placed or hung on top of this motorcycle. Now, the court also observed that the motorcycle did not have a clear vehicle identification number, and the court said that there was no way to establish that this particular motorcycle was in possession of Sadhvi Pragya Thakur just before the blast. The verdict also mentioned that there was no sketch of the blast site, forensic samples had been contaminated, and apparently no RDX had been found at Lieutenant Colonel Purohit's residence, despite earlier allegations. Now, after the verdict, Sadhvi Pragya addressed the judge directly. She said, and I quote her here, "I said from the beginning that investigations must be based on facts. I was arrested, tortured, and my life as a sage was ruined. But I survived today, and Hindutva has won, and God will punish the real guilty." Now, remember, the bomb blast happened on the night of the 29th of September in 2008. It happened in a communally sensitive part of Malegaon. A low-intensity explosive was strapped onto this motorcycle that was set off near a mosque. Now, 6 people were killed, 95 others sustained injuries. The Maharashtra ATS began the investigation in 2011. The case was handed over to the National Investigation Agency, and from there began one of the most complex terror trials that this country has witnessed. Now, over the next 15 long years, the case moved slowly through the legal system. More than 10,800 exhibits were submitted in court. The investigators seized and also presented over 400 articles of evidence, and the court heard testimony from 323 prosecution witnesses along with 8 from defense. But nearly 40 of the witnesses then turned hostile, including some who were key to the early investigation by the Maharashtra ATS. The trial itself saw a high turnover. 5 different judges presided over the case at various stages, each picking up where the last one had left off. The final written arguments were submitted in April this year across 3 volumes and over 1,300 pages. The verdict was reserved on the 19th of April and was delivered today, with all accused being acquitted. The case is for now over legally, but the core question still remains. If these 7 did not carry out the attack, then who did? Now, the verdict has also sparked a political war of words. Here are some of the reactions.
क्योंकि बहन हमारी दीदी प्रज्ञा साध्वी प्रज्ञा मेरे बगल वाली सीट में वहीं बैठती थी.
Sadhvi Pragya, whom I regard as my sister, used to sit beside me in parliament. Today her body is paralyzed. And what about the other accused? What their families have gone through over these 17 years? Who will give them that time back? The Congress leaders responsible for coining saffron terror must be held accountable and will have to answer for it.
तो कांग्रेस की जितने आला कमान जो नेता रहे जिन्होंने भगवा आतंकी शब्द दिया गया था, उनको जवाब देना है. They are all accountable.
प्रभावित है वो जरूर अपील करेंगे.
Those impacted will seek legal recourse, regardless of what the BJP claims. The final say lies with the court, and the verdict can be challenged through an appeal.
कोर्ट का फैसला है और ये अपीलेबल है. इसका अपील जरूर करेंगे.
All right, and our principal correspondent Disha Shah has been tracking the story very closely for us and sent us this report from Mumbai. Listen in.
After 17 years of prolonged trial, all 7 accused have been acquitted in the Malegaon bomb blast case that took place in 2008, killing 6 people and injuring more than 90. The verdict was announced by the special NIA court today here in Mumbai, clearly stating that the prosecution has failed to provide reliable evidences against all the accused herein concerned. Firstly, against the former BJP MP Pragya Thakur. There has been no proven ownership that the motorcycle really belonged to her. Remember, the motorcycle was used, that was the claim when the blast took place, but whether it did really belong to Pragya Thakur, because the number was also wiped out. So that has not been clear. So she has been acquitted of all the charges. Secondly, the court also has stated that indeed the prosecution has successfully established that the blast occurred in Malegaon. However, it failed to prove that the bomb was planted in the motorcycle recovered from the scene. Thirdly, what the court also stated, that the blast site was not properly barricaded after the incident. As a result, the crime scene was contaminated.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.